I posted a video a few days ago that had this sub in its original state, and I kind of said some of the things that we do when we make something EMF-ish, and the response to that video was to show the final product and talk a little bit more about what was done. So that's what I'm going to do in this one. So if you're unfamiliar, anything that we have here that's EMF-ish is a sub that is not a sub that we designed. It's not a sub that we manufacture. It's not a sub that you can normally just buy from us. It is a sub that somebody else brought to us to repair, recone, improve, whatever. And it's my take on it. If I were to take what you gave me, I had this motor design, I had this basket, and sometimes we change the basket too, but with what we have, I build it how I would have built it if that's what I had to work with and that was my motor design. So that's kind of like an EMF sub, sorta, so it's EMF-ish. So here's the final product. It looks very similar to how it did to begin with, similar surround profile and that kind of thing. The dust cap is different. One thing to point out that the other one had a bit of an issue is the assembly quality. This one, we don't have where you can see the basket through when they're pulled way back, and it's weird. There's a small gap. There's no getting around that unless you retooled everything or deformed this so it was not in a natural position when you put it down. But it does look much, much better. It looks normal. And the other two that I've done for the same person, this matches those. I use all the same parts. I send them the same way. So all this is good in matching for all three of them. So we get further down here. Nothing has changed with the motor. Nothing has changed with the basket. The terminals are the same. The tabs are a little bit different. And the tinsel leads are a little bit different. And that's because it's got a completely different spider. It's a little bit different profile. It is roughly the same stiffness, but it is larger. If you notice, we've got an adapter. So we've made this spider larger so we can get a little bit more throw, and the coil reflects that as well. But we can also get a little bit better sound quality with this spider when we're not stressing the spider during throw because it's a little bit larger. So that in turn gets rid of any mechanical noise that can happen from being at max throw. Before, with the smaller spider, the coil could physically move it there, but then you can get some mechanical distortion, that kind of thing, where you can get the same amount of throw with this one and you're not reaching that point. So it in turn sounds better. So that's pretty much all that we really had to do on this one. We've got an appropriate coil that does do a little bit better in here, but it's somewhat similar to the one that was in there, but it is a little bit different. The suspension is a good bit different. Cone is similar, and just the overall build quality. The failure that happened on this sub and some of his other ones is the spider was bolted down, which sounds great, except for when the ring breaks and there isn't really any glue on the spider to the basket. So the whole thing just comes loose, and that ends up breaking leads. I've seen people say breaking leads before, and I don't know if that was because it let loose or if they just broke a head. I've seen a few coil failures on these, but usually it's the suspension breaking. And I don't know the box volume or what music they're playing or how they're playing it. I just know it is happening on these. And in the comments of the last video, several people said the same thing. They've experienced the same thing with these subs. So that's what we've done to fix this. The other two that I did for him have been in service for a while now without issue. And he says that they perform way better. They're much louder and they sound better. So there's a lot of things that can happen when you just change small things with the parts. It's not just the motor makes the sub. There's a lot more to the design. So this is the end product. And if you have a sub that you would like us to recone, you can ship it to us now. We used to not do that, but you can ship it to us now. You have to consider the cost of shipping to and from on top of the recone costs. So if it's, a cheap sub, it's, $100 sub, it's not going to be worth it. But you can go to our website, emfcaraudio.com, go to the contact form, shoot us a message on there, See if we can do it. If it's a JLW7, I can already tell you, not going to do it. If it's a square sub, we can make it round. Not going to recone it back square. So outside of that, if you have something you want us to recone, shoot us a message. We'll see what we can work out. And go check out all of our Tech Stuff Tuesday videos. Hit the playlist. You can go through a whole bunch of them. And look out for another Tuesday video. And maybe some more sub build videos.